Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we're dedicated to helping product-based business owners turn into revenue-generating, successful, happy product bosses. I'm Jacqueline Snyder.
And I'm Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Together through digital courses, coaching, and masterminds, we've helped over 50,000 students from startup to multi-million-dollar businesses scale their sales while blending in their dream life.
It gets lonely out there in the product business world. We fully believe a business shouldn't be built alone. There's room at the top for all of us.
So let's get scrappy and creative together, Product Boss, to be profitable, make more sales, and grow your visibility.
Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey friends, and we're back with another episode. And today is going to be a great one because we have been really studying, obviously, e-commerce, product-based business ownership. We ourselves are experts on this because we've had our own highly successful product-based businesses, as well as coached at this point, 50, 60,000 students that are product-based business owners. And we've been really trying to think, how do we navigate the year ahead for all of you? We all know what we've all been through, 2020, 21, 22, and now in 2023, we wanted to think about how do we move forward? Like, what do we do this year? What's going to change, shift, and what are the trends coming up so that we all feel secure in the steps that we're moving forward in? And it's the best way to try and ensure that we have successful product-based businesses.
Yeah, I think that you probably have all been hearing about trend predictions and you hear about it at the beginning of the year. I like that we're doing it now where we've kind of like waded our way very easily into the new year and, not disturbed much.
We weren't part of the trends.
I think that it's hard to release trends before the new year, right? Because you have to pre-record and all these things. And I like that we have dipped our toes in because everybody was like claiming certain things or whatever. And I think that disrupts a little bit of the universe in a way. And I like that we're releasing it now when it's just like, okay, we're into 2023 and it feels like a little bit validated already, this prediction that we're going to tell you what our top thing is for 2023, what we think, and we're excited to share that with you.
Yeah. So, in studying the trends that have happened in commerce, so then product-based business ownership over the last few years, there's a lot of things that we were ahead of. We jumped in really early during the global pandemic and the shutdown and really talked about how to get businesses online. That's something that we saw and that we truly helped support so many businesses stay in business, or people whose, full-time jobs got shut down and they needed to shift very quickly to their product-based business to compensate, for their income and supporting their family. Now, as what I've seen over the trends happening is that no matter what the keyword, the news buzzword is that we hear, whether it's recession, inflation, whatever the conversations are happening, these things are always going to happen. It's cyclical in the economy.
The economy, yep.
Yep, always going to happen. Inflation always happens, right? We've been like, I think about my parents. Like, they owned a house in this really exclusive neighborhood, which is where the Kardashians live now. So imagine, right? And they had bought this house for $500,000 back in 97, which was a lot lot of money back then.
Yeah.
If we tried to go buy it now, it'd probably cost us $12 million.
And the dollar was worth more.
They did not hang on to that property. And that's what we always think about, right? Like hindsight, where you always look back at hindsight and inflation. Now, what I think that both Mina and I are really secure on is that what's going to win this year, what's going to ensure that you stay successful is the experience for your customers, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be because customers are going to price shop. Now, I don't want you all to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I have to match Walmart prices for my products, because that is not a way to stay in business either. But people are going to price shop. There are going to be people who lose jobs, that inflation has hit them hard, that the economy is hitting them hard, and they're going to have to go and find cheaper ways of existing. But there are still people with money, and there are people that will continue to buy things that they value, and they will continue to spend money the same way that, people can't pay their rent, but they also own an iPhone.
But even so, like even with interest rates going up, and I'm not going to get into discussion about the economy and interest rates and things like that, but the money that would have gone to purchasing houses or purchasing cars or the higher dollar things that interest rates really matter now are going towards the smaller dollar things, right? So I just want you all to know that this is the evolution of consumer purchasing. Mm-hmm. It always has happened. and it happens in different ways. And we're going to share with you how it's going to happen in 2023 out of our lens, what we think,
Because we weren't with you during the 2007, 2008 recession, which we both had businesses and went through. And this isn't really a recession conversation, but what I want you all to realize is no matter what happens in business, the people that are going to win are going to be customer focused. They're going to think about the customer experience. They're going to think about how do we make it easy for our customers to discover us, and how do we make it easy for our customers to buy from us, right? Because that ease level, that's why so many of us are Amazon Prime members. We don't have to put our credit card in. Like I can get 75 packages shipped to me in one day if I wanted. I could keep processing, and it makes it really easy. I get to go to one place and make a really easy checkout. So our number one trend prediction for 2023, Mina, you want a drum roll?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sorry about your earbuds, is that we want you to start moving towards omni-channel. So we talk about multi-channel. Now let's talk about omni-channel. Do you want to jump into that a little?
Yeah. So for all of you that don't know my background, I love all this consumer purchasing psychology. I also have my MBA. So I feel like all of these concepts were really taught to me way, way back when, so I got my MBA in 2004. Okay. So which back then times were different. Now, did that mean recessions didn't happen or inflation didn't happen? No, absolutely not. Like we said, it's cyclical, but it started off mostly with like when you were in business, there was the traditional model, the traditional channel, which is like brick and mortar. Then it started moving more to online. I know this sounds crazy for the youngins out there, but online was not a typical thing, right? Moved online channels, online shopping, right? And even not even having a pandemic. Right? So it's like we were going back to the online, except for it went from traditional to online. Then it went multi-channel. So when you're thinking about multi-channel, these are various disconnected channels for the customer. They're disconnected, right? You can go to them via their website, via their brick and mortar, via the online, because we were just starting to like really get into it. And multi-channel has always been the way because as Jacqueline and I talk about, it's diversification. Now, omni-channel is different. Omni-channel, as we're seeing it in the consumer spending, of right now, is what is multi-channel, but it's a seamless integrated experience for the customer. So I'm going to say that again, a seamless integrated experience for the customer. They're all connected versus various disconnected channels. Okay. So try to put that visual in your head when you're thinking about multi-channel versus omni-channel.
So what does that mean? And the pandemic really sped us up in this way. We were moving this direction, but it sped us up. So here's a really easy way of telling you. What do they call it? Where you could order online, pick up in store.
Curbside?
Yeah, but there was like another, like a more business language word for it. But that is the idea of this omni-channel idea. So someone could buy online and they could go to a store and they could actually interact with the product, or they could pick up there, right? Then when they're there, they could actually hop onto social media and post that they just bought it and or buy on it. So omni-channel is basically a way that your customers can stay connected across all of the channels and platforms from your visibility perspective and from your sales. So let's talk about small business out there. If you are an Etsy seller and you only sell on Etsy, or let's say you sell on Etsy and you sell in person, and they're completely separate, that you're multi-channel, you're following what we teach within multi-stream machines. So you've got multi-channels because you've got your Etsy customers and people are discovering you on Etsy, and you've got your in-person customers and people are discovering you in person. But is there the ability for them to connect, from Etsy and go find you in person, and then from in person and go buy from you on Etsy?
Yeah. I think like even local pickup or buying on social media or the overlap, right?
Yeah. And we don't coach on Etsy because Etsy is its own platform, but I'll show you where this ends. You cannot tell your Etsy shoppers, hey, come shop for me in person, right? You cannot tell your Etsy customers necessarily come buy from my website. It stops you there because you don't have control of that platform. But the flip side is a platform, a sales channel that you do have control over, which is in person. You could share QR codes. You could share your Instagram account. You could tell them, hey, you're meeting me in person. Follow us on Instagram. Here is an X coupon to go shop from us from our Instagram store. right, from our online shopping platform there. And you start to integrate them between all of the places where they can interact with your customer, with your product, and potentially with your customer service. And I want you all to think about ways in which you're already doing that with brands out there.
Yeah. So even if it's, let's say it's in person, that's a one experience, right? But could you bring it online and schedule Zoom in-person shopping experiences on, let's say it's in the DM and Instagram, and you schedule that for them, and that's interconnected to the video content that you're distributing, that's interconnected to the text messages that you're sending out, to the emails that you have. And like I said, the visits that you have online are in person and on online and offline. So you can see that you're selling kind of the same thing, the same products, but the experience for them is interwoven, right? It's connected. And so it's not like, oh, okay, they get a different experience brick and mortar or in person than they receive in the online scope.
So, I'm going to bring up Kim Kardashian because, favorite business entrepreneur out there. Sarcasm, maybe. No, but I was actually watching television and an actual commercial that came up. And it was basically Kim Kardashian in her Skims outfit. And it was just her with a background, Skims wearing it. And it just had a giant QR code to scan from the television. And I'm starting to see more QR codes used on TV.
I'm not even seeing commercials anymore. Where are you watching this?
I'm actually watching television, I think because I've been in hotels.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know how to get television in my house anymore. It's all streamed.
I no longer have the bunny ears or the
the antenna. Yeah.
For the young kids, we used to have antennas. No. So she had this thing, and I've actually seen multiple commercials right now, commercials on regular TV that have QR codes. Now that is the idea of omnichannel. You're thinking about a customer. So I could go into Nordstrom's and see an entire lineup of Skims apparel, right? And I'm sure and then I can go follow Skims on Instagram or TikTok, and I could buy from those platforms, right? I'm then seeing, so we're using social there, we're using retail. So they've sold wholesale to Nordstrom's, and then you can interact. Then I'm watching TV and I'm interacting with it there. But all of these link up. So I've seen QR codes used more, which is bonkers. Because, again, back in our day when we used to watch infomercials and they're like, call in the next 30 minutes and we're going to throw in not one, but 2 back scratchers, right?
Yes.
So it was phone calls. And then eventually it was like, sign up, go to www.whatever in the next 30 minutes and you'll get this. And now it's just a QR code.
And now you don't even need to say www.
Oh, you don't?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
So.
HTTPS. No.
But before we used to worry about if it was / or backslash.
Because we just had to define it. I don't think it ever worked the other way. But here's the deal, right? Because in today's world, customers are likely to interact with a company through a variety of channels. Again, think about a product or a brand that you interact with. And then, it's online, social, cell phone, and text, on the shelves of stores. And they expect each part of their journey as a customer to be interconnected. So for you all thinking about this, we want you to think about how you can join all of these touch points together. So the customer experience is going to be consistent and unified, no matter where the customer takes to purchase, making the overall experience better, which means the customer can purchase on any of these places. But I think you've talked about this too. It used to take 7 times.
Yeah, 7 touch points supposedly. Now probably takes a gazillion.
1,750,000.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea here, right? We want to quote unquote touch our customers in a lot of different places where they're hanging out in the world, online or in person, in real life. And then they get to pick up and decide where they want to buy, on their phone, on their computer, in person, on social media. Like, where do they want to buy? But you want them interconnected. Hey, Product Boss. Amina and I were just thinking about you and how oftentimes product-based business owners wear all of the hats in their business. I mean, we wear so many hats that we should be making hats and selling hats, right? That's how many hats we're wearing. Now, on top of that, you have to worry about keeping track of everything too. So wouldn't it be amazing if there was a way you could worry less about how to keep track of everything?
There is, and it's HubSpot. It's kind of like a house. It's all under one roof, and even like a time machine, because you're actually getting time back.
And in reality, HubSpot is an all-in-one connected CRM platform that's easy to use, has no hidden costs, and keeps all of your teams and data and systems all on the same page. HubSpot helps your business grow and scale like never before.
With HubSpot, ditch the countless hours managing multiple systems and focus on your time where it matters most, supporting and growing lifetime love from your customers. Learn how HubSpot can help your business grow better at HubSpot.com.
Hey, Product Boss, I'm just going to jump in real quick to interrupt this episode because we have something really special coming for you. Now, you know that Mina and I host free workshops and free challenges multiple times a year to support you as you grow your product-based business, and they are totally free. Now, we want to encourage you to think bigger. We want to encourage you to join a community that is also trying to think bigger, that's going to be there to support you when things get hard and also cheer you on when you get those really big wins, okay? Because Mina and I are here to help you build a dream life beyond your wildest dreams, all right? So we are hosting a free workshop series. It is called The Product Boss's Guide to Your Best Year Yet. And we're sharing some of our biggest tips and tricks for you to have a breakthrough year in 2023. And the first workshop kicks off January 19th. So if you want to get in for free, just head to theproductboss.com/best to save your spot. And we're going to grow together this year. We are going to help you and encourage you to think bigger this year. You will no longer feel alone. So again, head to theproductboss.com/best, or you can click the link in the show notes and we'll see you inside.
Yeah, now it's not about like, let's push everybody to the website, right? It's more so they're going to pick and choose. They have the purchasing power, when and where and how convenient they want it. And if they happen to have their cell phone in their hand at that time, if their kids are in bed, the access is different nowadays. Accessibility to purchasing, now I can literally make purchases while I'm taking a shower. Back in the day, I would electrocute myself if I tried to do that.
How would you do it back in the day? A salesperson would have to come in.
I'd have to haul my desktop in there,
I think J-Lo takes a bath every night. That's like in all her stuff. She takes a bath. So I imagine like olden days where like someone would walk in with a rack of clothes and be like, what would you like to buy while you're like in the bath?
Yeah.
So think about that, because the way that you are going to compete against the big guys out there is going to be these seamless experiences for your customer and being in all the places. Now, if you've heard us talk at any point in the last few months, we've kind of felt like burning Instagram down.
Yeah. Being on the places, but connecting them, meaning that when somebody purchased this from a place, if they were to call in or email or something, that the customer service stays consistent,
But like when I talked about Instagram and like it being really frustrating, people are still on Instagram. So we have a student that we've coached. They're a multi-stream machine student. They started off with one product and two colors. They first started out on Etsy with one product. Then they shifted. They got into multi-stream machine. They were able to scale their product. It was one product, two colors. They started selling on Amazon, through Shopify on their own website, and still on Etsy. So the idea here was that they don't need Instagram to grow their business, but they do need Instagram to have a presence for customers who are going to find them, discover them in a store, find them on Amazon, and then look up if this is a legit business. So they have this beautiful picture, like, one of those grid pictures up on their social media site, but you can still shop from their Instagram. You can still connect with their website. You can still get customer service help. They're just not spending a ton of time there pushing out content. So when you all think about this, I don't want anyone to leave this podcast and feel overwhelmed by, oh my goodness, I have to be in all the places and doing all the things. It's just the idea of, if you think about it, circular,
yeah.
Something. You just think about how they're all connected to each other in a circular motion, versus multi-channel is, you at the top and then it drops down into separate existing channels.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Imagine like various arrows from different channels versus when they're interconnected, that's one arrow that's woven through all those different channels. So that way the customer has one experience because, me as a customer nowadays, I have such power as a purchasing person, as a customer, that I know that I can go to Instagram and buy from a brand. I know that I can go to their website. I know I can walk into a pop-up store. I know I can probably find a coupon from a creator slash influencer. I know that I could, pick up at a sister store or a curbside. I know that I could have, somebody buy it off of Amazon and send it to me. See how those are all like interwoven, and it's literally the same product, but across different channels, and the messaging stays consistent, meaning the emails that I'm getting, the text messages, if I happen to call about a promotion that I see on the TV, that they know what I'm talking about. It's not like the old school AT&T where it's like, I'm going to have to reroute you to our mobile division. No, thank you. It's all interwoven. And that's really is what people, because nowadays people have the expectation that they have that access. They have the ability to buy when and wherever they want to. They could buy at 4 a.m. without being an infomercial. Back in the day, you'd have to have an infomercial, right? So
you'd have to wait for a store to open at 10 a.m.
Yeah, you'd have to write down that phone number, right? Now it's like they really get to pick and choose. And omnichannel is really special in that way, is that that they get the power to purchase wherever they want to. And your ability to interweave and interconnect them, like you're what's that guy that's the orchestra, the maestro, or the conductor? Yeah. You're conducting that orchestra and they're all playing together instead of playing their own tunes separately,
right. And I think that's so important too, because a lot of times we'll have students say to us, I sell really well in person, but I don't sell well online, or I don't sell well on social media or things like that. There is something that each of you have individually, no matter where or what your business is like, where you sell any of that. Each of you have some sort of superpower in some sort of way. I know you don't feel like you do, but you do. So if you tend to go to an in-person market and you sell well, what are you not taking from your superpower at that in-person and putting it across the other channels as that experience being a consistent customer experience, right? Maybe your presentation looks good. Maybe your packaging and your presentation is beautiful in person, but your photos aren't working really well. Maybe you answering questions in real time in real life is helping them get over that initial, I don't know if I'm going to buy it, and get to that next phase of I am going to take out my wallet and buy. So when we think about omni-channel marketing, again, it goes back to Multi-Stream Machine, which is our signature program, where you are in multiple places for sales and for visibility. But now, and this is something we're talking about, in this next round and next season, this next group of new Multi-Stream Machine students that are going to be signing up in February, is this idea of interconnecting, weaving them together, and really moving forward with the way the world is moving.
100%. And I'm so proud of us because we've been talking about this for ages and our students are already ahead of the game, meaning that we've always said you're selling the same products, you're just switching the messaging. The messaging stays consistent. So, like Jacqueline said, we don't want you to feel overwhelmed and thinking you need to be in all the places. You're in all the places with the right products, the ones that have the great margins, the 20% that's making 80% of your revenue, and you're talking about messaging that goes across the board on all these various channels, and you're feeling confident in all of that, and I know that, and then you get to pick and choose which ones you are your real power players. Like if Instagram really is the place you need to be, then you lean in. If it's not, then you have a, quote unquote little landing page that the bio takes them there instead, or if it ends up being that you are really stellar at paid ads and that's where you lean in, or wholesale, we always talk about our students, some of our students, their bread and butter is wholesale completely. And they lean into that. They get better at that. So their omni-channel is, cold calling or warm calling, like we like to call it in Multi-Stream Machine. It is emails for wholesalers, which is so different, than your regular direct to customer emails. It could be text messaging. It could be direct messages, and whatever it is, the omni-channel on that is different. But what we're saying is that it's the same products. It's just on more channels interconnected.
but you bring up such a good point for retailers, for wholesale accounts, that is also still omnichannel. It's its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you think about it now in customers, you could be in person at a trade show selling to customers, but they may also want to go follow you on Instagram to see if it works. They might direct message you on Instagram or social or TikTok. They might discover you on TikTok. Now, vice versa, we have a student in MSM that actually reaches out and connects with their retailers through Instagram, and they just kind of stay connected and supported, going back and forth with liking things, commenting, sending them quick messages. It's easier sometimes than email. And so you can also think about this idea of omni-channel presence with your retailers. If you're selling on Fair or on Bulletin, you're on social, they are also human beings in the same world that we're all living in and interconnected. So let's talk about how we can help you all with this, because I know this is a big idea. This is our trend and prediction. It is something for you to just start to think about, mull over, and think about, how can I start to interconnect and create this omni-channel presence for my business? Right now, today, we're kicking off our Product Boss's Guide to Your Best Year Yet workshop series that's going to actually lead into the Bestseller Secrets Challenge, which is like the best of our best free challenges.
I mean, it's my favorite one for sure, because we get to do what we do, like our superpower, our genius, our gift that we are giving the world. And that's not to literally toot our own horns. It's the way that we've created such an impact in the world. Like, we're so proud of our students. We're super invested in, bestseller secrets and teaching everybody about the 80-20 rule and the things that you need to do in order to not just survive out there as, these beautiful business slash living our life, versions of ourselves, living our best lives, but also that we get to do it with more ease, with, more joy and all the things. And I feel like that's really how we've contributed to this world. So Bestseller Secrets Challenge really does that. We teach you how to lean into the products that will get you your best life, the best version of your life, your best year yet. And we do it in a community setting where it's like super crazy fun. And we're able to even like have a ton of laughs, learn a lot of things. We know that all of you are big time learners like we are. And we do it in 5 short days in the challenge. And then we have a workshop series right before that Jacqueline mentioned, Product Boss's Guide to Best Year Yet. And that's on every Thursday leading up to that.
Right. And it's happening now. So here's the
Yeah.
cool thing that I want to tell you all. When you sign up for the workshop series or the challenge, and we'll drop the link in the show notes below. When you sign up, you will have the opportunity to join us inside of our VIP for the free challenge and free workshop. So everything's totally free, but you have the option of upgrading to VIP. Now, the cool thing about VIP is this is the only place you're going to be able to ask us questions. And we go deep into the workshops and the trainings and asking questions with a small group of students that decide to take us up on this VIP experience. And when you join, you actually will get this beautiful built out, I don't know how many pages. I'm going to go look really fast. I think it's like
a dozen pages.
Yeah, like 12-page booklet on our 2023 trends and predictions for product-based business owners. Now, we shared one with you right now. And we have a bunch for systems, visibility, and sales, and ways to start thinking about how to go through this year and to move forward, because there's this incredible quote that we really like. And it is from, hold on, let me get it for you. Charlie Munger of Billionaire Investor, who said, opportunity comes to the prepared mind. Again, opportunity comes to the prepared mind. We want you all always to feel prepared versus flying by the seat of your pants. So we invite you to join us in the free workshops and free challenge and upgrade with us into the VIP experience. And you'll get these trends and predictions. We have some other great goodies, plus all of the live Q&A sessions with us.
Yep. And then you get free access. I mean, what have been called? Like, basically we cut you to the front of the line to take you to Bestseller Secrets Challenge. So you don't have to do anything else. You're already in the challenge with us and learning and getting ahead of everybody else and really, really making it your best year yet. So we're super pumped about that.
Absolutely. So make sure to get in. We know that this is a game changer for so many of you. We run it at this time of year because it's super specific to help move you through. And we're just excited to see you all in there. So Mina, I actually think we have to jump into our live Q&A session now. So we're going to jump over with our with our workshop VIPs, and hopefully we see you in there. It is not too late to join. Whenever you join in the next couple of weeks, you will get the replays. If you become a VIP, you'll get the workshops, you'll get free access into the challenge, and we can't wait to meet you all in there.
We'll see you there.
Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.